Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about something that's super important, and I'm going to share some tips with you on how you can begin your spiritual awakening. Now, as you pursue the path of spirituality for longer, you become better at consciously creating the life that your soul desires. Now, whether you consciously or unconsciously, as many of us do, at the core, we are all conscious or unconscious creators of our reality. And as creators, we have tremendous power that many of us are unaware of. So in this video today, we're going to be talking about how you can become better at consciously creating your future. Now, this information and these resources have the ability to impact so much of your life. For me, it just added this level of vibrancy and just completely shaped the way that I view the world today. At the core, we are all creators of our reality. And the act of creating is a skill that can be honed and sharpened. The path to spirituality is not an easy one, but you'll notice that in your lifetime, you'll become better and better at consciously creating your reality. And the information in this video is going to help you kickstart that journey. Anyways, let's dive right in. I think that part of the difficulty in my spiritual journey so far has been I didn't really know where to look for information. You know, the internet has so much information out there nowadays, and not all of it is correct. Not all of it has the authenticity that I was looking for. So it was really difficult for me to find the information that was necessary for my spiritual progression. Would I go back and change anything about my spiritual journey? Not at all. I think that I came across the material and the resources at the right time in my life where I was most ready to absorb that information. But for those of you who are just starting out or are maybe a little bit into it and are looking for new ways you can develop this understanding of self and to pursue this path to spirituality, I'm going to be talking today about some tips and some resources that you can use to speed this process up. Upon reflecting on where I've come from in the last 5 years, my spiritual journey has been incredible, and I want to share what has really helped transform my life in hopes that it might do the same for you. So let's jump right on in to the 4 tips we're going to be talking about today. All right, so the first one I want to talk about is meditation. And if you haven't seen my video already, I have a link in the description and you can check it out. It's super helpful for those who are starting their practice of meditation. But a quick summary of what we talk about in that video is that I suggest you meditate 15 minutes every single day. Now, I know the habits are hard to create, but I really genuinely think that if you are consistent, the results are going to definitely pay out. Now, the beginning is pretty slow, and it takes a little bit of time to get some traction. But in my personal experience, that traction kind of picks up, and your speed at developing that meditation skill increases very quickly. And I would say that my personal growth rate, so to speak, the speed at which I develop personally, has exponentially increased. And it started off very, very slow, but then over time has continued an upwards trajectory. And all I can say is that meditation has been the most impactful on that, because it allows me to consciously observe my thoughts and my behaviors and make those refinements and adjustments and shifts in perspective that are necessary for me to continue on in my spiritual journey. The second I want to talk about today is a book. And this book is, in my opinion, the best bang for your buck. It is the most concise and the highest potential of information that I have found on the internet or in any book I've read so far. And I've read a lot of books. And it's called The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, and it's written by Deepak Chopra. I've placed a link in the description if you're interested in buying this on Amazon or whatever. It's not that expensive, and I carry it around with me everywhere. It's my go-to. It's what I reference when I need help on something. And it really is similar to science. It helps shape your perspective and helps demonstrate the maybe not physical laws of the universe, the more metaphysical laws of the universe. And I think that differentiation is super important for us to understand, and this book allows us to dive right on into that, and it's super concise. The third resource that I would highly suggest is the book Conversations with God. Now, this one's a big one. It's, I want to say, around 700 or 800 pages. It's super thick. But if you were to go and take a college class on spirituality, if that even exists, this is the book that I would say is the textbook. This, for me, just laid the framework and my entire perspective on life, and I feel like it is the most authentic and genuine source of knowledge that I have found to date. I'm not saying that it's the Bible or it's the best thing that ever has existed or will exist, but for me, it was such a quality resource of information and allowed me to really understand at a more philosophical viewpoint what is going on in this universe, who we are at the core, and how we can play a better role in creating a new society that provides love and care for everyone around us. It tells you who you are at the core, and it helps you bond with other people and create better relationships. It helps let you take control of your life and where you're going. It gives some power back to you. It empowers you as a reader. And I feel like it is definitely something that I wish more people read. And it was the first resource on spirituality I had ever come across. It was my introduction to spirituality. And I feel like it needs to be kind of a lot more people's introduction to spirituality. Because with the way the internet works nowadays, we have so many false ways of spreading real, authentic knowledge, and it becomes kind of hard to filter out all that noise. And this really cuts true to the core, and it helps you understand what's going on here at a deeper and most refined level. It was my first encounter with the idea of a universal consciousness, and it helped me form a better conceptual model for what is going on here. More speaking on a metaphysical level. And for those of you who are unsure of what metaphysical is, I actually just learned this the other day. But metaphysical is the branch of philosophy that examines the fundamental nature of reality, including the relationships between mind and matter, between substance and attribute, and between potentiality and actuality. The last one I want to share with you today is yoga. Now, it doesn't have to be specifically yoga. It could be any sort of form of exercise. The reason I place an emphasis on yoga is that I felt it provided an understanding for the mind-body connection. And through yoga, I have experienced extreme states of relaxation as well as a heightened awareness of how my body feels. So I typically combine yoga and then I add meditation at the end of my yoga session, and that allows me to kind of decompress and also, take in what just happened and notice how my body feels. And this is really important because I think for most of us, we don't really understand how we feel and we aren't in tune with how our body is. And we're going to be talking about this more in the future when we talk about topics such as health and lifestyle, but your body reflects the health and the mental state of your mind. So if your body isn't feeling great, there's a high likelihood that there is something going on mentally that you need to work through or to be at least aware of. So I think that yoga is a great entry point for most people because it gets people outside or maybe indoors if you're doing it indoors, and it gets you active, it gets, the body pumping a little bit, but it also provides that great mix of mind and body exercise. By starting your meditation practice and absorbing yourself in the material that I've shared in this video, you can become better at consciously creating your reality. By practicing yoga or some form of exercise, you can become better in tune with how you feel, and it'll help you kind of scrape away the layers of yourself that are not conducive to your spiritual growth. At the core, we are all creators of our reality. And this video aims to share the information and resources that I found extraordinarily valuable in my transformation process. Someone once told me that when we are young, we believe we can do anything. We believe that the world is our oyster and that we can go out there and catch any dream we want. But then as we grow older, the reality of life kind of sets in. You start to realize maybe it's not as easy as I thought. Maybe I can't dream that big. And we face these societal pressures. We have these expectations placed on us. There's these cultural values. There's these most efficient ways of going about life. Go to school, get a job, get married, have kids, have a family, etc. But I think that what many of us don't understand is that we have a little bit more say in this reality that we are experiencing. We are consciously creating this life. And if we took control of that and we were consciously aware that this process is happening, then we can become even better at creating our future. We can live more in the present and to appreciate the life that we currently have in the now. And we can move forward and we can have a better vision for where we're going in the future. I'm not saying that this information is going to cause you to never experience suffering and that you're going to have complete control in your life. Because the fact of the matter is, spirituality isn't about having control, really. It's about letting go of the control and letting life happen for you, not to you. Because a lot of us feel victimized by life. But at the core, a master would convert these curveballs that life throws us into learning lessons. It would shift these feelings of suffering into feelings of gratitude and appreciation. Because without the suffering, our soul would have no way of growing. I hope that today's information really helps you move farther ahead on your path to spirituality or to success in general. I love you all, and I hope that you find this information valuable. If you know of anyone who would find this information as valuable as I think they would, please go ahead and share it, because more people need to be aware of this information, and in the future we're going to be talking about even more depths of the information we have briefly covered today. I am so excited for more content, and please stay tuned in the future for more. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.